Whoa, what is happening?
I am hanging out here with two very cool guys. It's Tyler and Corey from Red Rocks Worship. Hello, guys.
Hey,
What's up?
Tell everybody where you guys are hanging out right now.
Our volunteer kitchen here at the church. We're just trying to find somewhere that's quiet. That's where we're at, here in Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. Are you close to the Red Rocks Center that has all that whole beautiful thing?
Oh, absolutely.
Amphitheater.
Red Rocks Amphitheater. Yep, it's in our backyard, 10 minutes down the road.
So tell me really quickly, I know you're a worship band, but tell me a little bit about your church real quick.
We are Red Rocks Church. Started in 2005 with a bunch of knuckleheads that just felt like Denver needed Jesus. And so that's the true statement. So they all moved out here. We started a church in a creepy theme park called Heritage Square up in Golden, Colorado. And just over time, it's kind of grown, and we started a multi-site model. And so now we have 4 campuses here in Denver, 1 in Austin, Texas, and 1 in Brussels, Belgium, and 3 God Behind Bars campuses that we love so dearly.
Wow, that's very cool. I think I remember that park from when I lived out there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Heritage Square.
it's not safe.
No.
I mean, that's why they built the new one, right?
Yeah, it was just a safety hazard at every point.
We had rattlesnakes in the kids' rooms. Like, that's real. We had to shoo them out, and it was
Okay,
special.
well, did you keep any of the cool stuff for the church? Just for the heck of it.
Well, I think they used to every year around Halloween they would do there was these people with chainsaws running around.
There was a haunted house right next to the auditorium.
Yeah, and so people would be coming up from church and chainsaws and people running. It's just insane.
So I came out and auditioned actually on Halloween a long time ago. Anyways, but we were in church. It was a Saturday night, and there was a guy running around chasing people with a Jason mask and a chainsaw.
Oh my goodness.
Screaming. And then also at Heritage Square, they had a miniature train that went around the entire theme park. So every once in a while you'd hear the train just like, oh my gosh. So we're having church, Sean's preaching, we're trying really hard to hold it together. Again, we just came out here, we thought Denver needed Jesus.
You definitely are in the right spot, right? You just got to go where you can shed some light.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you become a worship band? Was that the goal the whole time? Who was the one that spearheaded it, and how did it become what it is today?
No, you know what? I wouldn't say it was ever a goal. I think it was a pipe dream, but truth be told, when we started our first satellite campus, which is the Littleton campus, we had hired on some other worship leaders, and we were just trying to figure out what songs did we agree on that we should sing on Sunday, because we wanted all the songs to be the same. Well, we quickly realized that us coming from different backgrounds and just different tastes, we couldn't agree on many songs. And so we thought, hey, what if on Fridays we got together and we prayed and we wrote together? Let's try this. Surely if we can write a song that we all like together, then we could sing it at all of our locations, And so long story short, that's kind of how the whole thing started. We wrote a song called Fill This Place and started doing that. And then how Red Rocks Worship was kind of born, as far as the releasing music side of it, was we have, we don't do it every year, but we used to do what we call Holiday Hangover, which is the Sunday after Christmas. And it was a program special that we put out online and on local TV. And it was really, honestly, what it was to give our staff and our volunteers the Sunday after Christmas off, is what it was. And so they come to us and like, hey, do you guys have any songs we could record? And we're like, sure. So we had 4 songs and we recorded them for what was the Holiday Hangover special. About, 2 or 3 weeks before we were going to hit Christmas, our leader at the time is like, hey, what if we threw this up on iTunes? And we're like, can you even do that? Is it that easy? We didn't know, So sure enough, it's called the Rooftop EP. We put it out just honestly as let's just see what happens. We already recorded the songs anyways, and went to #1 on iTunes for a day or 2 maybe. And we were like, what? This is crazy. Our church just ate it up. And so really ever since then, we were like, well, God's doing something with our music. Our church is gravitating to it. So let's write songs for our church, and then let's just see what happens with it. And that has kind of been our approach this whole time.
Yeah, for sure. And, some great songs. I know we have a few on the air right now, which I want to talk about in a few minutes, but you do Breakthrough, which is a great song. I just have to say, I have to do it in the key of F sharp, I think. And it's really not that easy to do an F sharp because I'm a capo girl. I'm just saying, but
Yeah,
I love the song because, you know, some songs are made for guys, right? For you guys who can go an extra level. And I have to find just that right pocket to be able to go low and then high. I'm just going to say, but I love the song. So I suffer through it.
Well, I'm glad I suffer through it too. I think my journey at Red Rocks has always been like every 6 months, I just start keying things down pretty far. So like, I just want to be comfortable, man.
It's really true.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, the ones that we are playing on the air right now we have Now Here that I just added recently. And I love the way it never dawned on me that Nowhere and Now Here have the same letters. You just move one over.
Yeah.
And I love this whole part of the song. Whose idea was that?
Honestly, it's one of our other riders. He was sitting on his porch one day. It was COVID, so 2020. He's sitting there and he texted me. He's like, "Bro, do you know that it's only a single space that differentiates the words now, here, and nowhere? One means fully present and one means absent." And I was like, "No, I mean, I never really thought about it." He's like, "Yeah, it just hit me because my thumb hit the space bar in accident." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And so honestly, that's where that came from. And he's like, "Dude, this song's going to be really cool because we're going to sing now, here, and nowhere. And we're going to flip it and we're going to blow people's minds." I'm like,
It really is.
All right.
It is a great song. I enjoy playing it at church and I enjoy listening to it on the radio because it is just a really great song to remind us the awesomeness of God.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. You know what? That song was honestly, again, 2020, dumpster fire every year. We were just trying to write a song that would fill our church with hope and put their eyes back on Jesus and the faith that they needed to get through it, because nobody actually knew what was going to happen.
Right.
Times nobody knew, and so that whole song is it's just a faith anthem. It's like, all right, I see joy rising, even though I don't feel it right now. I hear it on. I know because my God is on His way. He said He was, so we're going to trust that.
So now let's talk about Echo Holy, because that one's been running for quite a few months here. So tell me whose brainchild was behind that one, where it came from.
Well, I honestly, what happened, it's very similar to what Tyler was describing. It was the first song that we wrote for our last record. And, the world shut down. We were all in our houses. And I think the reality is we went from seeing our church people every week and you see their faces, you hear their stories. And then suddenly what ended up happening is that that's over. For who knows how long. And so I was really inspired by a story of someone in our church that it was a husband and wife, and they were both always there Sunday morning at our 11 o'clock service. I saw them every time. And I heard right before COVID happened, I heard that that the husband was diagnosed with cancer, and then the shutdown happened. And then I didn't have their number. I didn't know where they lived. And so I suddenly lost contact with them. And so I was just so, as a friend and as a worship pastor, I was like, how can I pastor them right now? Like, what can I say that can pastor them? And Echo Holy kind of was birthed out of that, of saying like, I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that when we look at the Lord, we see Him rightly. Therefore, we will see ourselves rightly, and we see what's happening rightly. And so the whole song was geared to be like, hey, look at the Lord right now. Look at Jesus. He is the author and the perfecter of our faith. He who started a good work will complete that work. And so, it ended up being that months later, we started church back, and I saw her and her husband had gone to be with Jesus. And we played that song, and I got to tell her this story, and she said, I love this song because I know he's getting to sing it while looking at Jesus now.
Oh, wow.
And so it just, like, even still, that song just means so much to me. And I think to our church, because it kind of was a North Star for a bit for us.
Absolutely.
That is very cool. And I think that's probably why your music resonates with our church as much as it does. And we do so many Red Rock songs. The other song we do is called Holy, which I know you've done a version of, Corey. I think you sang a lead on it, and so did one of the other gals did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had actually done that one, well, in the female version, the voice. And that's what I love about these songs. They are always reminding us about God and pointing us back to it. And that's what worship's about, right?
Yeah.
Making
Yes.
sure that
Yeah.
it's always pointing, it's not only creating the atmosphere for the Holy Spirit to move, but also to keep us remembering to look up. So
Yeah.
what are the plans moving forward? I see that I'm looking at my Spotify real quick. You got lots of great albums out. You got more albums in the works?
Thanks. You know what? We have been feverishly writing, and we're starting to introduce some new songs to our church. And we hope that December 2nd, we're going to record our next live album.
So you have to wait for them to approve that the song is good?
You know
before we
what?
get-
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, because the thing is that, real talk, like we're the worship ministry of Red Rocks Church. And so we wrote these songs really to put into their hands. And man, when they work here, we just have a feeling that they'll probably work elsewhere. But there have been times where we've tried something and, like it didn't go as well as we thought it might. And so then it's like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board. So it's a really great, I don't know, just measuring stick in many ways.
Good. And so how many people are part of the writing team, and who are they? Are they part of the band, or is it everybody?
So there are a handful of us, most of the worship leaders on staff. So me and Corey Wright, Jess Wright, so we have a girl named Jessie, Brene. There's a handful of us.
Okay. Who's Jacob? Epsy?
Yeah, Jake. Jake is he was a worship leader here for the longest. He produced the last record, key writer for us for sure.
Yeah, I have seen his name on quite a few things. So I wondered how he fit into the whole scene.
Mm-hmm. You know what? He really, from the very beginning, because he was one of the worship leaders that we hired for our first satellite campus. So from the very beginning, man, he was very, very integral to what we've been doing and helping push this thing forward.
Yeah. Another thing I want to point out that I love about you guys is that you were doing the worship in one room together thing before Maverick. I believe you guys were doing it out, making these videos before Maverick City was.
I don't know.
Yeah,
here and there, especially through COVID, we were like, well, may as well just get everyone together, see what happens.
We had to.
They're so cool. I mean, it feels like you're in the room. That's what I love about these kinds of videos. And so I want people to go and check out all your social stuff and your YouTube channel, because I think that it's jam-packed with great music.
Thank you.
And we're really looking forward to you guys just setting the pace at Rock the Lake. It's so important for us to be able to do ministry and to speak the name of Jesus and make sure people know that he is the hope. And I know you guys are going to bring that. So you have the freedom to talk, you have the freedom to play whatever and do just that.
Thank you. We're so excited to be there. Honestly, we're so excited. We're ready. Ready.
Is
There's
there
something about-
anything? Huh?
Oh, I was just going to say, there's just something about doing it outside too, like under God's creation. Hopefully it's not very hot, but I have a feeling it will be. But regardless, there's just something about like getting God's people together and worshiping under his creation.
Yeah. Nothing better when we have 6,000 people on a beach. And then if you're hot, you can just go jump in the water and you'll be good.
Like, I'll be right back.
You will find me there.
All right. Well, it's just a few weeks away, August 6th, Rock the Lake. And make sure, y'all listening, that you are checking out Red Rocks Worship before they come so that you can be singing along and praising and worshiping with them. I'll know all the songs. I'm just telling you right now, because I'm such a fan. And I think you guys are probably going to be hanging out at your merch tent after you play, right?
Yeah.
And people maybe come and say hi and meet
Love
you.
to meet anyone that wants to meet us. We'd love it.
That'd be fantastic. Well, anything else you want to add before we go?
Man.
Nope.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
We've loved it.
Well,
We're
we'll
just
get here
honored.
first.
We're just honored. Honestly, like every single time we get to do this, which isn't all that often, when we do get to do this, it's just like mind blowing that you guys are playing some of our songs. It just thank you. We're just so honored, sincerely.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I just keep doing it, will you? So I
Yeah.
have more. Buy more for church.
Yes.
All right. Tyler, Corey, thank you so much. Everybody check out Red Rocks Worship online and get familiar with this music.